Welcome to the Explainer. So what does a 10th grade artificial intelligence class actually look like? It might sound like something straight out of science fiction, but today we're going to decode what's really in the syllabus.
When you hear AI class, I bet your mind jumps to students hunched over keyboards, writing super complex code, or building little robots. But what's really being taught is so much broader, more foundational, and honestly, way more interesting than that.
So here's our game plan for breaking it all down. First, we'll tackle why this is all happening now. Then, we'll look at the course structure, which is probably not what you'd expect. After that, we'll see how students actually build AI, dig into the core concepts they learn, and finally, wrap up with the creative mindset they're trying to build.
So let's just dive right in with the biggest question of all. Why? Why teach artificial intelligence in high school in the first place? What's the end game here?
And the answer is right here in the official curriculum. The main goal isn't to churn out a bunch of expert coders. Nope, it's about creating AI-literate citizens, people who can understand, appreciate, and just navigate a world that's being shaped by this technology more and more every single day.
Okay, so if that's the why, then how do they actually build that understanding? Well, the structure of the syllabus itself is really quite surprising.
Get this. The curriculum is split right down the middle, like 50-50. Half of it is dedicated to what are called employability skills. Things like communication, self-management, even green skills. And then, the other half covers all the technical subjects you'd expect, like Python and core AI concepts. It's basically saying that human skills are just as important as the tech skills.
And this slide really hammers that point home. The course actually teaches that a whopping 93% of our communication is nonverbal. Think about that. That is a massive insight for anyone who wants to create technology that actually works for real people. Okay, so with all this focus on soft skills, you might be asking, how do students actually start building AI projects? Well, the course lays out a very clear, very structured approach. I love this part. Instead of starting with a bunch of intimidating jargon, the curriculum uses a really simple analogy. It compares building an AI project to making a birthday card. Seriously. You figure out who it's for, you gather your materials, you create it, and then you get feedback. Simple as that. And this is where that simple idea gets its official name, the AI project cycle. Breaks the entire process into 5 clear, manageable steps. It totally demystifies AI development, turning it from something that feels like some kind of magic into a repeatable method that really anyone can follow. All right, so what's in the actual AI toolkit? Let's take a look at the specific domains that these students really get to explore and play with. First up, we've got data science. This is all about being a detective and finding meaningful patterns hidden inside large sets of data. It's the engine behind things we see every day, like when an e-commerce site seems to magically know exactly what you want to buy next. Next is computer vision, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Teaching computers to see and interpret the visual world. This tech is everywhere, from the fun filters you use on social media to the really critical safety systems in self-driving cars. They also get into natural language processing, or NLP. This is the magic that allows computers to understand and respond to human language. It's how voice assistants like Siri understand what you're asking, and it's how grammar tools can spot your mistakes. And finally, and honestly this might be the most important part, the curriculum ties all of these cool technical skills back to a much bigger, much more human-centric idea.
So students aren't just building projects for the sake of it. They're actually taught to frame their work around solving real-world problems. They use frameworks like the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. The whole focus is on purposeful creation.
And this is so crucial. It's not just about building things, it's about building them responsibly. The course dives right into ethics, talking about really tough issues like AI bias, data privacy, and the moral dilemmas of autonomous machines.
So when you step back, you realize this isn't really a curriculum for future programmers, it's for future architects, the people who will design the world we live in. Which leaves us with a pretty big question. Are we preparing them for that huge responsibility? By teaching not just the how of building AI, but also the why and the what if, this course seems like a really powerful step in the right direction.